Top Devo says, speaking of Annie, I really enjoyed the last Queen of Hearts trailer. Great job. Looking forward to the full release. So funny about that is, so I recut a trailer for Queen of Hearts it was the 30th anniversary of the second season finale. And I woke up in the morning and I thought, oh, you know what? I think it'd be kind of fun. Let me take like the two prior trailers and kind of like an intercut and, you know, kind of mix things around. And so I'm doing that, and it's exporting and uploading all the stuff to YouTube, and I'm just waiting around for it. Right then, Kyle puts that tweet out there about guess time will tell about Annie. So so my trailer hits right when Kyle says that. So the views shot up.
Awesome.
So which is really cool. But it was like perfect timing. So, nice. I have to ask you, non-spoilery, because you have seen the rough cut of Queen of Hearts. So what can people expect? Because we're coming up to it eventually, pretty soon, hopefully, getting an announcement as to when we're going to drop it.
Is there an approximate date, or?
I have an idea, but I don't want to say it because if I have to move it, I don't want to do that again, because I already did that for the pandemic, and that was hard enough. It wasn't my fault, but at the same time, there was like, sorry, folks, you know, got to move the date. All right, so what can people expect, I guess, without, I mean, it's hard for you to do because you did a nice review for it, but kind of let's throw them a little bone, those who are still with us watching. We got over almost 40 people watching us right now. So.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Okay, throw them a bone. Here's the bone. You can expect some really dazzling imagery, just in a physical aesthetic. You're going to see a lot of impressive sets, environments, exteriors. You are going to have a new appreciation. I mean, I don't know how many of you are.
One of the questions that I was kind of asking myself before, as I was going into casting the thing, was, do I cast people who are fans of Twin Peaks, or do I cast people who know nothing about Twin Peaks, or does it matter? Because if you're a fan of Twin Peaks, you'll want to kind of emulate other people's performances. If you're not a fan of Twin Peaks, or you didn't watch it, you won't. Would you even understand what's going on? So is this? Do you think if you were a new viewer and never seen Twin Peaks, do you think this is understandable, or do you think you have to be like a hardcore deep diver?
Oh, that's a hard question to answer. I mean, somebody who's versed in the Twin Peaks, universe, you're going to be very comfortable. You're going to know everything. Like you said, it's very approachable. It's very understandable. And I think overall, even if you've not seen any of Twin Peaks, it's still a great story. And I think that the liberties you take early on in the film that have a little bit more mystery and, like we said earlier, the open doors, you answer your own questions in a way that seems genuine, and it seems like everything makes sense. So people don't like unanswered questions, or they don't like that never got resolved. I mean, it's a very clean and understandable area of a story from the Twin Peaks fandom. And Annie, I mean, I just want to emphasize Annie. Like, you are going to feel about Annie so many different ways. I don't think people are expecting in the best possible way.
Because you weren't an Annie fan prior to this.
And I feel bad now because I feel like I played her dirty by now, but that's your fault. I mean, that's
my fault.
It's in a good, you brought me to being an Annie fan, because before I just kind of found her, whiny and
whiny.
Just not whiny, just like too Pollyanna-y, and I didn't like the way Cooper was when he was with her. before. Like I said, I've mellowed out a lot in my older age. And I don't mean to upset anybody, just that Annie wasn't my cup of tea when I first watched the series. After your film, I feel like I understand now that I was being dismissive because there's so much going on, and I'm open to that now. And I see power, and I see that she's interesting, and I see so much more. And I loved that. I was surprised by that.
So you went in going, this could be like a slog fest, and
I trusted you. I trusted you as a storyteller and a director. And I think sure there were so many, like you said, like open doors and so many ways to explore Annie's character further and her struggles. And you did that. And I feel like that is absolutely, you took an opportunity and you came out of it really, really well. Annie came out of it really, really, really well. So,
well,
yeah.
If anything, as I've said before, I would love for this film to kind of get them to start making like legit Annie Blackburn merchandise.
I'd buy it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to make her where it's like where she's like just super cool. Things could get interesting because prior to Kyle's tweet, Lynch has mentioned in the past that I've been thinking about Annie Blackburn, or I've been thinking about Carrie Page. So there's a very good possibility that we could have 2 Annie Blackburn projects coming out relatively close to each other. That's not what I was thinking was going to happen.
Well, I mean, who could have known?
Well, it took me so long to get it off the ground that, but I just want to make it very clear that if that is what happens, this isn't meant to be, some competition. This was meant to just be its own standalone, isolated thing.
Sure.
But at the same time, though, I always consider it a giant celebratory sort of statement about the series that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
So, but I would be very curious to see if they do another exploration of Annie's character on a big, Netflix Showtime level. Be curious to see how much my way of taking her and their way of taking her, if there is any overlap.
Right.
I'm really excited. We're getting closer. Every day gets a little bit closer.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. So, and I'm curious to see what people are gonna say about this.
Yeah.
I think if you go in, arms folded and impress me, yeah, you're gonna be, whatever. But if you go in like, I just wanted to see kind of a cool thing that takes place in the Twin Peaks universe, I think you'll be shocked and surprised at how much you'll like it. Right.
And like I said, I mean, put it this way, like I wasn't anti Annie going into this. It was just,
a lot of people are.
Oh, well, I mean, it was just like Annie wasn't high on my list of reasons why I loved the show. I mean, and like being a lover of the show, even though Annie is not at the top of my list, I still love, I love all of the show. Like we were talking about James and Evelyn. Do I love those scenes? No. Are they part of the bigger picture and that I kind of love them? Yes. So Annie wasn't that way for me at all. It was just, now we're in the Annie phase, and it wasn't my favorite phase, but it's part of the show, the greater show that I do love. And so knowing that and going into, viewing your film, It was like, this is from a show I love. This is from a story and a group of characters that I love. And no, I didn't have my arms folded at all. I was actually very excited. And I mean, it's like when we talk about, Lost, when it's like, are there episodes in that series that I absolutely dislike? Yes. But none of them are bad enough to make me just leave the room and refuse to watch it. And that's kind of just what I was getting at, where it's like, I'm not a hater. I don't hate Annie. And now, I guess, because it was such a striking revelation going through these experiences with her from your story, from your film, it's like my Annie meter went up. And so now I can take kind of like a fresh look at the stuff that maybe wasn't my favorite before and just see it with, it colors your experience, whether you want it to or not, it does. So
I had somebody say to me a long time ago, oh, are you just doing this because do you have like a crush on like Heather Graham or something like that? And it's like, no. And I think it's pretty clear after you read the script or see the film that this has nothing to do with Heather Graham. It has to do with the fact that, fully exploring a character that I feel like has not really been explored to that kind of degree.
I mean, do you have a crush on Heather Graham? Yeah, it's so severe. I'm going to, dictate 4 years of my life and spend a bunch of money and just, line up all of this stuff just because, I want Heather Graham to maybe notice. No. And shout out to Madison Bates.
What do you think of her performance as Annie?
Phenomenal. She was phenomenal. She is Annie. She was Annie. And it was fun seeing that. It was really fun and inspiring. And yeah, a little surprising to see someone just step into, we talked about this a little bit, do you cast somebody who looks like Heather Graham? Do you cast somebody that sounds like Heather Graham? Well, I know the story behind Madison Bates is becoming the character of Annie Blackburn, and so I won't, shout out any spoilers there. But she owned it.
Within like, I don't know, 30 seconds, all of a sudden it's just like you just think you're watching the Heather Graham character.
Yeah. And I mean, for that to just click, it's part, I think I can say this, luck on your part, but then also part of Madison just killing it, like she did exactly what was needed, if you ask me. So
she's extraordinary, and I hope this leads to many wonderful things, because it's a hard role to do. It really is a hard role to do.
Yeah.